Hello class, my name is Aisata Maiga and I'm from Shaw University in Alabama. This briefing is for my leadership seminar class LGR 4400. Today, before I go ahead, I would like to thank Dr. Shannon and all my classmates for all the discussion board we did together. We exchanged all the feedbacks. Thank you, Dr. Shannon, for all the knowledge you gave us. Thank you so much. It was worth it, and I learned so much through this semester. Now the briefing gonna be about the movie Remember the Titans. And in my audience today, I have my host family since I'm not from here. I have my host dad, my sister, and my host mother. Now, I'm gonna talk about a few points about the movie. The first one gonna be about the leadership core styles that were used by Coach Boone and Coach Yost. And next, I'm gonna use one of them that I will emulate and tell the why of my emulation of that one. My third point gonna be about the follower type, choosing a scene that I like throughout the movie and how a specific type of followership apply to it. The last point gonna be about how the organizational culture was handled by Coach Boone and Coach Yost. Let's go to my first point, which is about the core leadership styles used by Coach Boone and Coach Yost. I believe that Coach Boone used all of the four leadership styles, which were directing, supporting, coaching, and delegating, but mostly directing. That's how he started his leadership. However, he kind of used some type of authority because he said that this is not this is more democratic. It's a dictatorship. I am the law. That's what he said. So even though he used that was kind of needed for the situation. Leadership is mostly about what type of context you are and what level of readiness, what level of maturity the follower has. Therefore, Coach Boone used some directive leadership. He moved on to the coaching and then the supportive and finally to the delegating, which is mostly about when leaders are ready, followers are ready, they know what have to be done to get the job done. They have the skill, they have the competency, and they have the commitment level to get the job done. Next, gonna be about Coach Yost. I believe he was a supportive type of coach because he was there for the players. I don't mean that Coach Boone wasn't there, but Coach Yost was the one backing them up when they were going through difficulties, and he cared a lot. That was that type of leadership I would say he used. He was a supportive leader. Move on to the next point, which is about the type of followership. And I'm going to talk about a scene now. According to Kelly's followership style, we know there is 5 types of followers. And I'm going to choose one of them and give the type of scene, the scene that will go with that type of followership. We remember during the movie, Julius he told Gary, who was white, while Julius was black. Julius told Gary that he is doing a poor leadership with the poor blocking of the white players. And they had to go back and forth for them to find a solution. I think Julius was an alienated follower. He was an alienated follower because those type of followers are seen to be troublemakers in some ways. They are seen to be the devil's advocate, but sometimes they are the one who put balance in the organization. They have the positive side and the negative side. They are passive, they are independent, and they have a good level of critical thinking. I think because Julius was enough bold to tell Gary about the poor blocking of the white players, including Gary himself, that was a tough decision. That was a tough move from Julius. I think it was a good alienated leader, alienated follower there, and that made a good impact on how Gary treated the rest of the players and how it led to make sure all the defending line make a good blocking. The next point gonna be about the cultural organization. Okay, how Coach Boone and Coach Yost handled that. Because if you look at it, that was a tough situation. As I told you, leadership is always about situation. However, how you want to do it, if a leader want to be effective, the leader need to look at how is the situation, in what type of context things are going. And in the movie, we see that back in the time, Coach Yost being a white male, he was the head coach. And when Coach Boone came in the city, he was gonna be hired as the head coach. And that was a big decision, a big situation going all around the town with Coach Boone as black being over Coach Yost. But however, both men handled it. They came together in some ways. The start wasn't easy, it was difficult because there was some type of racism going on in the town, and the white players and the black players used to play separately. They weren't used to do things together. But by how the coaches acted, because the organizational culture is mostly about, it comes to assumption, it comes to the core values, it comes to behaviors. It's about beliefs that people have. But I think them two being the head leaders, the way they acted, the way they interacted, the way they put things together had a big impact on the players. It had a big impact on all the city. I think the way Coach Boone and Coach Yost handled this, that was a big impact on all the situation. I remember at the end of the movie, because they finally came together about founding unity. They saw each and other the same. Coach Boone put the black players and the white players, he made them sit together in the bus. He made them cohabitate together. And Coach Yost, I remember he said at the end of the movie, he said something like, you have, if I remember, he said, you have taught this city how to trust a man, how to trust the soul of a man rather than it. Oh my God, I know it. I know it. Rather than its color. You have taught this city how to trust a man's soul rather than its color. And I think that was a very, very strong quote by Coach Boone, Coach Yost. And I believe the way them two, Coach Boone and Coach Yost, interacted, the way they handled the situation, the way they accepted each other for the own good of the team, the own good of the city, and the own good of the team, that made everything goes well, and they got their goal achieved. This was my presentation. It was about the core leadership styles. It was about one of the scene in the movie, which I used the alienated follower as an example. It was also about which type of leadership I will use. I believe I will use all four types: directive, supportive, coaching, and delegative, but according to the situation. And the final part was about organizational culture. Thank you for your time. This ends my briefing.